I'm here today with Paul White, the CEO of the Broncos. Paul, thanks for agreeing to be part of the TROOCOO Know Who series.
It's good to be here, Scott.
Leadership is about the challenges you face. You know, you'll have had quite a few challenges, you say, while you've been here.
Yeah.
From a people leadership perspective, what's probably the biggest challenge that you have faced?
Oh, look, it would be, you know, people know the most publicised ones, and they tend to believe that they're, you know, the biggest challenge. And yes, they come with a great deal of public scrutiny around decision making and the way things are reported in the media. The toughest times are the issues that really impact on the people who work for the organisation, if that makes sense. Some of those, you know, challenging times are very serious injuries to players when you're forced to, you know, really reach out to families, the players, everyone who's impacted by some of those decisions. Making tough calls to let people go. It's no different in my role than it is in anyone else's role. If you really care about people, you do need to lead and manage strong. I work on the notion people need to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So what that implies is I don't want people to be stressed, but I do want them to be a little bit agitated when they come to work in the morning.
Yeah.
I want them to be thinking what they did yesterday is not good enough today, and I hold myself to that same standard. You don't always reach it as well, and that's the other thing about leadership is don't set yourself up for failure by espousing that you're perfect in every sense.
Yeah.
You know, I'll make a mistake every day, I'll learn something every day. Some of the greatest challenges that you face are the biggest learning experiences, both personally and professionally.
Yeah. And I've known you for a while. I mean, you know, you're very authentic. You've got great integrity, and I think, you know, you're really open and honest in your approach. From a values perspective, you touched on that. Then, you know, how important to you is it being a values-led organisation?
Yeah, I'll put it this way. For me personally, I understand in my role as a CEO that our values, you know, and those that are written on the walls within this building, I have to walk, I've got to act consistently with what they are. If I espouse them and stand up in front of people and be interviewed in the public domain and talk about values, people have got to see it within me. When you find yourself in a leadership role, you've got this sort of notion of what a CEO should look like or what a senior executive manager should look like, and we're all very different. You're different to me, I'm different to someone else. So you've sort of got to find what centres you, and you've got to lead that way. And I think people, naturally you go through your career and you're more aligned with some leaders than others, but I think people accept authentic leadership or genuine leadership without trying to be something you're not. So I don't try and set myself up for failure. I don't hold up that you know, I've got the rule book for leadership or management, but I do try and learn, I do try and be honest, and I know what centres me as well, and I know, you know, at its most basic, I want to achieve great results in my work, I want this business to grow, but I also want to demonstrate a real care for the organisation, the people within it, which is really important to me.
Obviously, you know, I couldn't leave here today without talking about your own personal journey as well. You know, you're a dad of 4 daughters, you know, obviously married, and you've been through your, you know, personal journey with what you had to face with your illness. Tell us a little bit about, you know, how that gave you a sense of perspective and the resilience that you had to show on that journey. Yeah.
I mean, I did a leadership course with a company last year, and I was given that opportunity, and we had to identify a champagne moment in our life. Yeah. And I actually identified my battle with brain cancer, which people sort of looked at me like I had 2 heads. Yeah. But when you think about it, when I think about that time in my life, you know, it was, for a start, it was enormously confronting. I wasn't frightened because the event that alluded me to the fact I had was a seizure, so I thought I was dying. Yeah. And of course, when I woke up, I wasn't dead. Yeah. I just had a physical reaction. I wet my pants. Yeah. You know, and there's worse things than that. Yeah. So I guess I was sort of, I remember that whole experience, and I was sort of, once I'd realised I couldn't control whatever was happening to me. I was at peace, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I know it seems like a weird thing. And then I thought, I'm alive. So I just sort of thought, I always wanted to make the most of my life because my times as a police officer, I'd seen life taken away from people like that.
Yeah.
So I always had that sense of purpose in my life, but I guess it grew. So I just took on the challenge of the treatment and just tried to reframe all that, control what I could control. Like I'd always been fairly big with my health and training, and that was important. My youngest daughter was going through high school, so I wanted to actually, even though at times I didn't feel terrific, I wanted to show my daughters that I wasn't lying on the couch, although sometimes I wanted to. So it gave me, perspective in terms of trying to help others through my own journey, and that helped me in the end. I'm a better person for that time in my life, to be honest. I'm a better leader. I'm more balanced in my outlook on what I should be stressed about and what not to be stressed about. And that certainly helps me in this job, because people say, oh, how do you do it? How do you cope with the stress? Well, a brain cancer diagnosis is probably is a balancing sort of reference point for that, if that makes sense, mate.
Well, listen, I just want to say, on behalf of the team at TROOCOO, I really appreciate your time today. You're a great bloke. You do a fantastic job. I certainly look forward to the next 10 years. And no doubt the season will go well. I think you've set all the foundations up for a great season ahead. The club's in great shape, and well done to you and your amazing leadership, Paul. So thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Thanks for having me.